Beauparlant looking very calm as he climbs up off of his stool for round number 2. And Rahnavardi looking much fresher than a man should after being dumped on his head like that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Round number 2 in Rahnavardi's corner, calling for knees.
Rahnavardi really needs to let his hands go. He needs to start throwing good straight shots. Keep the center of the ring like he was at. Don't put himself in the position he is right now where his back is close to it. That's going to help Beauparlant in getting that takedown.
Beauparlant seemingly scoring that double leg at will. Rahnavardi having no remedy for it at this point. Rahnavardi taking the closed guard and very methodical ground and pound being dealt out by Beauparlant.
See, right now, as you're looking at this, the guard position we'll look at and say that it's a 50-50 position. The guy on top can absolutely strike with more power, but he doesn't have many submissions available to him, while the guy on the bottom has a lot of submissions, but not when his feet are closed and locked up like you're seeing Amir Rahnavardi's right now. There is nothing offensive that he's going to be able to do to Brent Beauparlant right now until he opens that guard, starts moving those hips, and starts creating angles that are going to start to frustrate and give Brent problems. Right now, he's trying to lock in. He's got a high guard. That's not a triangle yet. Beauparlant pulls right out of it, trying to go into side control. Amir puts him back into guard.
The pace slowing somewhat here in round number 2. But Beauparlant staying busy with heavy left and right hands and elbows to the body of Rahnavardi.
You know, Amir Rahnavardi is trying to show that doesn't hurt me. Well, you know what? One of them is going to hurt. And if you're looking at anything right now, only one guy is scoring points with the judges.
Absolutely, and no matter how tough Rahnavardi is, and I'm sure that he is triple tough, you don't want to give free shots to your opponent. That's just going to drain your gas tank.
No, not me. I would rather be in Brent Beauparlant's position and say, okay, let me take the free swings.
Beauparlant doing a good job of staying just busy enough for the time being to keep the action from being brought to the feet.
See, right here, you see that Amir's he's using that wrist control again, but it's obvious that Brent Beauparlant is too strong for Amir to actually control those wrists. He's been able to take his hands and pull them out away from Amir, so this is a strategy that he's trying to use that isn't working for him.
Beauparlant now trying to step through the legs of Rahnavardi, but to no avail, keeping his head back, staying vigilant against possible up kicks.
He's doing a good job of controlling legs. Rahnavardi needs to start taking that. He's got to do something. Putting his hand over his head isn't going to do anything. He was better off when he had it down at the heel to try to at least give some unbalanced feeling to Brent. Brent just stood there, pushed his hips forward, and then goes back down.
Now, while Beauparlant does look like he's slightly flagging here, at the same time, he's maintaining enough of a pace that he seems to be just piling up the points, John.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got a guy, he's moving in and out of guard. He goes to a half guard. Now he's just moved himself right into side control. The referee is looking at it and saying, man, this is a guy that's improving his position all the time. I'm not going to stand him up. I'm not going to do anything. Nice elbow to the back of the head. But, you know, if you're the referee, Beauparlant is controlling the fight. He's getting more dominant positions. That is what you're asking a fighter to do.
And now Rahnavardi finally working his way to his feet, firing a left knee to the midsection of Beauparlant, but Beauparlant lifting him high above the canvas and slamming him right dead center in the cage.
That was a nice slam, no matter what Amir wants to say. That hurt. That doesn't feel good. He is now in a good position inside control. He's controlling this fight with his ground.
Very solid.
Steps over the head. Could go for a lot of holds right now. Decides, you know what, he's not going to do that. Just goes position. Amir does a good job of twisting his hips through, getting him back into a half guard.
And here we are again, the workmanlike body control of Beauparlant, keeping him in the dominant position as he racks up point after point, and a couple of vicious elbows land on the jaw of Amir Rahnavardi. Rahnavardi seemingly at a loss to deal with the ground game of Beauparlant.
Well, you know, he's clowning around and acting like things aren't hurting him, but that's mildly interesting in the fight because you're losing the fight right now. Unless you come up with a submission, you're going to lose this fight because the position you're at, being on your back, you're not going to knock the guy out. So you better start pulling your submission bag and opening it up and finding some tool inside.
A huge hematoma now swelling above the left eyebrow of Brent Beauparlant. And I'm sure his corner is happy that this round's coming to a close. They can get some end swell on that quick. We can pretty much watch that thing grow as we sit here. But still, what would seem to be a dominant round for Beauparlant.
Yeah, that's a heck of a hematoma on the side of his head. That thing is growing, as you said, by the moment. Right now, Brent Beauparlant is doing everything that he can to control the fight, and he's dominating it. There's no doubt about it. He's controlling position. He's controlling the fight. Amir Rahnavardi needs to either keep this fight on his feet. Right here, this is a high guard. He's trying to bring it into a triangle, but he doesn't have it. You see him trying to yank his foot down, but Brent Beauparlant had his arm in the right position, then just pulled out of it. Here you see Beauparlant, slugging away at his midsection. Rahnavardi putting his hands back there, acting like it doesn't hurt. Well, it may not hurt, but tell you what, it's scoring points. Big slam right here. Beautiful double leg, brings him up, brings him down. Great body position in bringing him down, gets himself into side control. That's what you want to do as a fighter.
So on Big John McCarthy's unofficial scorecard, we've got Beauparlant ahead 2 rounds out of the scheduled 3. A jab from Rahnavardi and a huge right hand. Rahnavardi targeting that hematoma on the forehead of Beauparlant.
Rahnavardi needs to use lateral movement. He's going straight back. It's going to put him into the fence. The lateral movement's going to keep him from doing something, but he does have halfway decent. Now he just lost it. It was a good guillotine for a moment. He had a chance to stick him into a closed guard that would have made it tight. Now Brent Beauparlant has moved himself into a very good position in side control. His arm being on his head is doing nothing. He's not going to be able to submit him. And in fact, Brent Beauparlant can take that right now and start to use that as an offensive move, put him in a Kimura, do a lot of things with that arm in that position.
Beauparlant still relentless with that body control. A small trickle of blood coming from the nose of Rahnavardi. Beauparlant keeping Rahnavardi pressed against the mesh.
Right now, Rahnavardi needs to turn himself towards the fence, use the fence as a tool to get himself back up, use it as a balance point. Brent Beauparlant does the right thing, tries to keep his back off of it since he's in a sitting position, so he's going to put him flat back down to the mat.
And for the umpteenth time, we see Beauparlant in the half guard of Rahnavardi, raining down the hammer fist elbows and left-handed punches. Very steady pace on the ground maintained by Beauparlant. He's done an excellent job while not doing anything to threaten the closure of this fight. He's done an excellent job of maintaining activity on the ground and keeping the referee from standing it up where it favors Rahnavardi.
Yeah, if you look at what Brent Beauparlant's done, he has controlled the fight and he's moved himself. Right now he's in a closed guard. That's what we'll say is 50-50, but he every time it's getting close to that referee looking standing up, he moves himself into a half guard, moves himself into a side control position, which is dominant positions where the referee's going to look and say, well, I'm not going to stand you up because you just got a good position, dominant, I'm going to let you work from there.
And Rahnavardi doing what he can to target that hematoma with his right elbow. But so far, it looks to be relatively under control.
See, in that position, he's got good wrist control. Take your feet, unlock him, put him on his hip. Use that to get him back off you. Get to your feet and do what you do best.
Oh, those are heavy right hands to the ribs of Rahnavardi. His head wedged right against the base of the cage.
Right here, there's your feet on the hips. Put him up there, start to get Brent Beauparlant off you. Get some distance so you can get yourself back up.
Beauparlant has been the proverbial wet blanket throughout this fight. Rahnavardi now trying to get active with some strikes.
There was a nice right hand that Brent Beauparlant went to throw, and then Rahnavardi hit him with a beautiful left hand in return. So he's getting some good shots in on him, but he needs to start to work.
Once again, we see Rahnavardi conversing with the ringside photographer. Perhaps he'd be better advised to concentrate on the fight.
I think he's talking to me, and it's stupid because he needs